South Charlotte is booming, but how's the traffic? If you're eyeing areas like Ballantyne or SouthPark, stay tuned. We're covering the best South Charlotte neighborhoods where you can enjoy the lifestyle and a reasonable commute. I'm Patrick Kennedy. I'm a local real estate agent here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I help people just like you every week who want to make the right move here in Charlotte, and I'd love to help you too. Best way to reach me is to give me a call or a text at 984-306-5668. You can email me at patrickkennedy@costellorei.com, but you can also click in the description below for multiple ways to get in touch. So let's jump in. South Charlotte is known for its upscale communities, shopping, and corporate hubs. Commuting from this area can range from a breeze to a crawl, depending on where you live. Overall, it has the most variable commute times in the region. Morning drives average about 29 minutes, and evenings average about 34 minutes. There's more stop and go due to higher population and fewer direct highways. The key routes are I-77, which runs north and south on the west side of this area, the I-485, the outer loop, which encircles to connect east to west. Many neighborhoods feed into Uptown using major surface roads like Providence Road, South Boulevard, and Park Road, which means congestion at rush hour. But don't worry, we'll highlight some spots that keep you connected, plus big improvements are coming. The I-485 Express Lane project in South Charlotte has added toll lanes now to help reduce congestion and speed up commutes for those who choose to use them. Now let's break down the neighborhoods. First, we have Ballantyne. Ballantyne is Charlotte's iconic master plan community, and it's a major employment center in its own right. If you work in Ballantyne's corporate park, think finance, insurance, IT, and medical companies, living nearby can virtually eliminate your commute. You're looking at maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes or less to get to the office, most likely on local roads. For those commuting from Ballantyne to Uptown, that's a longer haul. Officially, it's about 22 minutes, but that's with no traffic. During the 8 o'clock rush, it often stretches to 45 minutes, and there's no escaping that I-485 and I-77 grind at peak times. Don't be fooled by overly optimistic claims. Real commuters know that a 22-minute Ballantyne Uptown drive is only at 5 a.m. on a Sunday. The good news is Ballantyne's location right on I-485 means you do have quick highway access. Even the Charlotte Douglas Airport is about 20 to 25 minutes west using I-485. Currently, Ballantyne relies on some bus services. We've got a CATS route that circulates through Ballantyne and connects to the light rail transfer point. There isn't a light rail in Ballantyne yet, but the city has plans for future light rail extension with reserved station spots on the Ballantyne campus. Within Ballantyne, you'll enjoy 20 miles of walking paths and bike lanes for local trips. It's great for getting to parks and shops or even biking just to your neighbor's house. Most people do still drive for work commutes. Ballantyne is a top choice for corporate professionals whose office is located in Ballantyne or who travel often. It's pretty good proximity to highways and to the airport. It's also popular with families for its excellent schools and newer homes. If you're a healthcare worker at Atrium Health Pineville or Novant Ballantyne clinics, living here means you're minutes from work as well. The vibe is definitely upscale suburban. Think country clubs, shopping at Ballantyne Village, and community events. And you can get uptown occasionally for nightlife, knowing you have a quiet retreat to come back to. SouthPark, around the famous SouthPark Mall, sits closer to Uptown. It's about 6 miles out from Uptown and offers a more central location without sacrificing the leafy suburban feel. Commuting from SouthPark is easier than from the far south. It's typically about a 15 to 25-minute drive into Uptown. You won't take an interstate. Instead, you'll navigate city boulevards like Fairview or Providence Road. Even at rush hour, it's often no more than 25 to 30 minutes, which is pretty consistent. SouthPark is actually a secondary job hub. There's tons of offices, banks, and healthcare firms that have operations here. So if you live and work in the area, you'll barely touch traffic. For example, a banker working at the Sharon Road office towers or a nurse at Novant Health Presbyterian just east of here could live in South Park and have maybe a less than 15-minute commute. South Park isn't on the light rail, but it does have CATS buses that serve the area, and it's a short ride to the Uptown Transit Center. However, many South Park residents drive, given the short distance. Some nearby neighborhoods to note would be Dilworth and Myers Park. They are adjacent historic areas just south of Uptown that often get mentioned for their charm and commute. Dilworth is only 2 to 3 miles from Uptown, about 10 minutes by car, even in peak times, and is very walkable. Plus, right next to the major hospitals, Atrium CMC Main is the hospital here. Myers Park is a classic affluent neighborhood that also boasts a quick straight shot up Providence Road into Uptown, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. These Central South neighborhoods are perfect for healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses wanting to live near the hospitals, or finance executives who want a prestigious address and a short commute. They're also extremely walkable for leisure. They've got parks and cafes and greenways, though not many people walk to work from there due to the lack of sidewalks on many of the busy roads. Still, biking from Dilworth, Myers Park to Uptown is very doable and common. Just south of Uptown is an area called South End, which deserves a mention because it's basically commute heaven for those working uptown or even in University City. South End has exploded in popularity with its trendy restaurants, breweries, and apartments. And crucially, it sits right on the Lynx Blue Line. If you live in South End, you could walk or bike into Uptown or hop on the light rail and be there in under 10 minutes. Driving is similarly quick, maybe a 2 to 3 mile drive on South Boulevard, but many choose not to drive at all. This area is ideal for young professionals in finance, tech, or startups who work in or near Uptown. Also, those in the design and creative fields, as many firms have offices in South End itself. The rail trail is a pedestrian bike path along the light rail, makes it easy to scooter or cycle to jobs in Uptown, and you'll find lots of folks commuting in non-traditional ways here. The vibe in South End is urban and energetic, so while it's technically South Charlotte, it feels more like city living. Still, it absolutely offers the best commute times. You're essentially already in Uptown. We got a little bonus southern option we're going to talk about now. Just over the state line to the south is Fort Mill, South Carolina. It's not Charlotte proper, but many relocation buyers consider it as part of Greater Charlotte. Fort Mill is about 18 to 20 miles south of Uptown, so that's about a 30-minute drive on I-77 in normal conditions. Commuting from Fort Mill to Uptown can hit 40 plus minutes in rush hour with your northbound traffic. It builds on I-77 as you cross the state line. But here's a twist. If you work in Ballantyne or South Charlotte, living in Fort Mill can be super convenient to those locations. In fact, a lot of young professionals who work in Ballantyne choose Fort Mill for its lower South Carolina taxes and great schools. They enjoy a quick 15-minute reverse commute up I-77 to Ballantyne, going opposite the heavy traffic. Fort Mill has a charming small-town feel, and it's very popular with families and telecommuters who go into Charlotte occasionally. Just note, moving to South Carolina has different tax implications. Property taxes are lower, vehicle taxes a bit higher, but many find the trade-off worth it. I included Fort Mill as a southern area option because it really can be the best commute solution for certain people. For example, someone working in South Charlotte who wants more house for the money. So let's talk about some commuter tips. If you live in South Charlotte and work uptown, consider adjusting your hours if possible. Leaving after 9 a.m. can make that Providence Road, Ballantyne commute much quicker since Southside traffic peaks early in the morning. Also, watch out for the opening of those I-485 express lanes. They're currently open and they're going to extend across South Charlotte and plug right into Johnston Road at Ballantyne, potentially shaving time off the drive to both Uptown using I-77 and to Matthews via US 74. For transit users, a future Silver Line light rail is planned to run through Matthews, east to Uptown, and then out west, and long-range plans include extending the rail or bus rapid transit toward Ballantyne. So the South Side is only going to get more connected over the coming decade. For now, the Blue Line ends at I-485, the South Boulevard station, which is just north of Pineville. So one strategy for Ballantyne folks is to drive to that park and ride and then take the train uptown. It's about a 20-minute train ride from the I-485 station to Uptown. So South Charlotte is an area that's tailor-made for corporate and finance professionals, many of whom split time between Uptown and Ballantyne offices. Banking and insurance employees often choose South Charlotte for easy access to both major office hubs. It's also a haven for medical professionals, with the region's largest hospital, Atrium, Maine, at the edge of the Dilworth-Myers Park area, and other hospitals in Pineville and Matthews. Living in the South means you're never far from work if you're a doctor, nurse, or a healthcare professional. Tech workers who are in the fintech sector, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, love areas like South End for the urban vibe, or Ballantyne for the campus-like offices. Families and anyone valuing schools and amenities gravitate here, accepting a bit more traffic in exchange for what's often considered Charlotte's most prestigious and convenient suburban quadrant. South Charlotte gives you the best of both worlds, city convenience and suburban comfort. If you pick the right spot for your commute, you're in good luck. Whether you're walking from South End or carpooling from Fort Mill, there's a fit for everyone. I like to help people like you every single week who want to make the right move here in Charlotte, and I'd be honored and love to help you too. Best way to reach me would be to give me a call or a text at 984-306-5668. You can email me at patrickkennedy@costellorei.com. Check the links in the description below for a couple ways that you can get in touch, and then we can work together to find you your perfect place in South Charlotte.